I hope you're all well. So we're going to continue with our online learning. So today, Friday, the 22nd of January, we are going to be doing science. So this is our learning objective, to compare different diets of different animals. Our success criteria: explain the differences between carnivore, omnivore, and herbivore diets. And we're going to go into those words later on. Find out what different animals eat and compare what different animals eat as well. So, our first task. Can you have a look at this picture of this skull? A skull, remember, is a scientific word for head, like we did last week. So, have a look at this skull. What animal do you think this might have been? Well done if you said it was either a crocodile or an alligator. So you can tell by the long mouth and long nose and his sharp teeth. So have a look at this next picture. Now this picture is a little bit blurry, but have a guess what you think this might be. And actually, I think this will shock you a little bit what animal this might be. So this animal is a hedgehog. Who would have thought a hedgehog skull would have looked like that? Isn't that really interesting? You would never have thought this little cute hedgehog would actually look like this if it didn't have its skin and bones and muscles. And this last one, this is an interesting skull here. So what animal do we think it is? I'm going to give you a bit of a clue. Have a look at this horn. Well done if you thought this animal was a cow. Now you can't really see its horns there, but there are some underneath his hair there. So what I want you to think about is what these animals eat. What do you think their diet might be? Remember, a diet is what you eat. What do you think a crocodile would eat? What do you think a hedgehog would eat? And what do you think a cow would eat? So let's have a look at the crocodile. So a crocodile would only eat meat. In its diet, it would only have things that it could eat from other animals. So we then have our hedgehog. Now, what would our hedgehog possibly eat? Now, I know we've spoken about this before, but what sort of food, what sort of diet would our hedgehog have? Well done if you said it would eat both meat and fruit or plants. Now, it probably wouldn't eat meat like this, a hedgehog. It would eat animals like insects or like smaller bugs, okay? Things like that. And it would eat things like berries and grass and things like that. And of course, our cow would be eating things like plants or grass as well, okay? So, let me move this down here. I'm having to move my screen all over the place today. So, animals that eat fish, that eat meat and fish. There we go. So, I wonder if you can identify what these animals are. So, having a look at each animal. This one's a tricky one. I wonder if you can work out what the skull might be. So, have a look at all these animals. Can you identify these animals? So, here we have a lion. So, a lion will only eat meat and fish. We've got a tiger. So again, a tiger would only eat meat and fish. Now this one's a hard one. I wonder if you knew what this one was. It has massive jaws. Now this is actually a shark jaw. Now a shark would only eat meat and fish. It would eat other animals that are smaller than itself. We have this cute little otter. Oh, otter, there we go. I've said it for you. Yes, so again, an otter would eat meat or fish. Did you identify this creature? What creature might this be? Well done if you said a crocodile. I'll also accept alligator as well because they're part of the same family. What about this creature? Did you identify this one? Well done if you said a wolf. And this one. Now this isn't a bird. Well, it is a bird, but what type of bird is it? It is an eagle. So there are some birds that eat meat. So the animals that eat meat and fish are called carnivores. Carnivores are animals that eat other animals or from meat and fish. So well done if you managed to work this out. Move on to the next one. So here, we've got animals that eat plants, including leaves, bark. So bark is off trees, okay? So the bit that surrounds basically the woody bit of the tree, we call it bark. Berries, nuts, and grains. So what do you call animals that eat that? They are called herbivores. Herbivores. Well done if you managed to say that at home. So we've got this creature. I wonder if you can identify these creatures. What are they called? So this first creature, of course, is a zebra. Lovely stripy zebra there. We've got these creatures, these lovely little creatures. Well done if you managed to identify them as sheep. We've got this funny looking skull here. So I wonder if you know what that might be. I'm going to give you a bit of a clue. Oh, hang on, I'll do this in red. There we go. So I wonder if you think that might give you a bit of a clue. This is actually the skull of a giraffe. Isn't that weird? Look at that. Would never have thought that was a giraffe skull. We then have a picture of a cow, of course, is a herbivore. A rabbit is a herbivore. And a tortoise is a herbivore as well. So these are all herbivores. They are animals that only eat plants, leaves, bark, berries, nuts, and grains. So remember, we have carnivores, animals that only eat meat. We have herbivores, animals that only eat plants or leaves, bark, things like that. And our last one, what do you think these animals might be? I'm just moving this up here. So animals that eat both meat and plants. Can you identify these pictures before I show the word? So have a look at this picture. What do you think it might be? This picture. This picture. Now this is a shocking one. I wonder if you might know what this might eat. Yes, we know it eats meat, but what kind of meat? Of course, we know this one. And this one's a tricky one as well. So let's have a look at this one. This is a chimpanzee. Chimpanzees are monkeys. So chimpanzees eat meat as well and plants. We have a badger here, cute little badger. So it's not a skunk either. A skunk usually has bushier tails. So this is a badger. And badgers live in the UK or around in Europe. So our badger. We have bears. So bears are also, some bears are both meat eaters and plant eaters, not all of them. So things like the animals like polar bears, they are not animals who eat both plants and meat. Polar bears only are carnivores. We have this mouse. Now that you might be a bit surprised to see a mouse being an animal that eats meat and plants, but it's not the meat that you probably think of. It's meat like insects, okay? They would eat that sort of food. Insects will also be classed as meat. We have our hedgehog, our cute little hedgehog. And then we have our orangutan. Now, orangutan is another type of monkey as well. They're the big orange ones that that live in Southeast Asia. Now, all these animals are animals that eat both meat and plants, and they are called omnivores. So omnivores are animals that eat both plants and meat. Plants and meat. So let's have a quick recap. So we've got carnivores, animals that only eat meat. Herbivores, animals that only eat plants, things like leaves, barks, berries, nuts, grains. And we've got omnivores. So we've got animals that will eat both plants and meat as well. So what do you think different animals eat different foods? So the reason why different animals around the world eat different food is because of their habitat. Can you say that word? Habitat. So the habitat is a scientific word for where an animal lives. So depending on where the animal lives, it will have a different diet. So for example, If more plants are grown in an area, so more green areas, you will be more likely to have herbivores. If you probably live higher up as well, you might have omnivores. So things like bears would eat, maybe in the mountains, would be omnivores that would eat both plants and meat. So let's move on to the next bit. People eat different things in different parts of the world too. So we've got people who are the Inuits, so the people who live in the snow, they eat snails as well. They have a different diet to us. Japanese people eat lots of seaweed as well. So again, seaweed is like the green thing, the green plant that grows in the sea. You might have seen it when you've gone to the beach. So you can eat that if it's cooked properly. And in Peru, so Peru's a country in South America, people eat guinea pigs. This little poor thing, they eat them as well. But that's their diet. They have a different diet to us. And you might have eaten food that other people haven't eaten as well. So, have you ever been to a country where they eat different food? So you might, maybe in other countries, they might eat goat. They might eat smaller creatures like that. So it could be in different countries, you might have eaten different things. Especially maybe compared to England, where they have, the diet of somewhere else might be slightly different. So we'll have a quick recap. So we've got carnivores, if you can say that at home, carnivores, omnivores, and herbivores. Okay, so we've got eat plants, eat animals, and eat plants and animals. I wonder if you can match these up for me. So have a quick pause, if you can match where they need to go. Okay, brilliant, if you manage to pause that. So, carnivores, are they plant eaters? Are they people? Are they things that eat animals, or are they animals that eat plants and animals? Well done if you said carnivores only eat animals, so they eat smaller animals, meat or fish. Let's do omnivores. Only eats plants, eats animals and plants. Well done if you said that an omnivore eats animals and plants. And last but not least, we've got herbivores that will only eat plants, okay, things like cows, like that, okay, and an animal that would be an omnivore, that would be like a hedgehog, and a carnivore would be maybe like a tiger. So, your task today, you're going to do a bit of a research task, okay? So, for example, you're going to pick a mammal or any animal that you want to choose. So, you might want to pick, a tiger. And you're going to do a bit of research. So you're going to have to go onto the internet and have a quick search of any animals that you might want to choose. So you might want to choose a tiger, and you're going to find out if it's a mammal, reptile, an amphibian. An amphibian is an animal that can go in water and on land as well. You've got fish, you've got bird, and an invertebrate. Remember, an invertebrate is an animal that doesn't have a backbone. So usually insects or things like jellyfish. So a tiger is a mammal, I know that already. So the habitat, where does it live? Okay, so this is when you're going to have to do a bit of research, okay? So you can have a look at Google and find out what sort of things it will eat, or sorry, what sort of place it will live in. So I already know that a tiger, so tigers tend to live in Southeast Asia, such as India. Okay. So then you're going to tell me if it's whatever animal you decided to pick, if it's a carnivore, a herbivore, or an omnivore. So we know a tiger, we've already clarified that a tiger, so a tiger is a carnivore. And remember, any spellings that you need are on here as well. And what diet facts, what do they eat? So again, you might have to use a bit of research, so using the internet to help you find this. So diet facts, so tigers tend to eat small animals and can even hunt for fish. Tigers, an interesting fact about tigers, they love to swim. So sometimes they do their hunting in the water. And if you can, I know you might find this a little bit tricky, a picture of the animal. So you can draw a picture if you're doing this on a piece of paper at home, or if you can try and copy and paste a picture to your worksheet here. If not, you can leave that blank, okay? So that's it for me today. Hopefully I'll be able to see you on Monday at 8:30 and see your fantastic work that you have done. So yeah, that's it for me today, and I will see you later. Bye now.